Scorpio, hello. Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your January shift reading here for the entrance into 2020. So we're looking at the shape you are shifting out of, the shape you are shifting into, and what that shift looks and feels like for you this January. So before we get into cards, I'm going to talk a little about the visualization that came as I was meditating on your energy. I felt, actually, it was interesting, like my brow was sort of lowered like this, and there was like a huge concentration of energy like right here in my forehead. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like focusing on something so intensely that it's gonna like burst. And then all of a sudden it did. And what burst was horns. Stay with me. Horns bursted through my forehead. And then and I felt myself begin to transform. Like I felt sort of this morphing into a beast mode, or like morphing into this, it was a goat, but it was a very beast of a goat. This was like a mythical, essentially what ended up happening is that you morphed into like a mythical Capricorn goat, because it was not your average goat, not your average mountain goat here. It was like the hooves were very intense, the horns, it was almost it was very intense, very muscular, very like yeah. So then the journey, and then you began to climb, hooves, again, very focused, very like, I am getting out of this ditch. It was like climbing out of a ditch. But it was interesting because it sort of reminded me of the journey of the sea goat. Capricorn in the zodiac is represented by the sea goat, and we are in Capricorn season here in January, through most of January. So it's really interesting that this Capricorn season journey seems to be really potent for you, Scorpio, because this exact Capricorn transformation is showing up for you. So I saw the sea goat transitioning from the water, from the sea down below, climbing out of the water, like dragging themselves by the hoof, by their hooves, by their horns. Again, furrowed brow of determination, and then reaching the bottom of this huge bluff, or this like huge cliff, and just beginning to climb, because it's like, I am gonna climb up out of this water. I am going to climb up to that height. And you made it, Capricorn, and it was like you were sort of morphing and transforming as you climbed, which was really interesting, like becoming more and more goat-like, like the transition from the mythical being of the sea goat, half fishtail, and then the top half being the goat, into full earth being, full goat. No longer dwelling in the water, fully inhabiting the land, fully inhabiting this earth energy. I think that transition seems to be really important for you, Scorpio, especially since you are this deep water sign. To be now transitioning to earth, I think, is something very potent. So the goat gets to the top of this bluff or this cliff, and is like exhausted, heaving, finally made it, and kind of just like looks back over everything of where they've come. And I don't really know what that look is about. It's very mysterious. I think it's probably going to be different for all of you. Whatever emotion is there is present at the top. But it's like you needed to get up where you could breathe. That was the feeling. It's like as soon as the goat got to the top, I could like take in this huge breath. It's like you needed to get from the water to the air, and you needed to do it by transforming on land, you know, from water to air through earth. Interesting. Okay. All right, Scorpio, we're going to get into cards. So I've already pre-pulled cards for you. I don't normally do that. Those of you who follow me know that. I like to journey with you on the shuffle, but I felt moving into January that as we transition decades, I really wanted to sit with the energy and have some time with it before turning on the camera. Take my time with this reading. So I've done that. And here's what I've got for you. The shape you are shifting out of, Scorpio. It's the Two of Swords. You are shifting out of this void space. It's interesting. I'm actually seeing this as I'm seeing the void space, this darkness, as like the depths of the ocean. You know, it's like, is there really a difference between the darkness of the void at the depths of at the bottom of the sea and the darkness of the void out in that most outer space? Is there really a difference, you know? That's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like you could be in either place. But whatever it is, it's sort of this feeling of aloneness in the void, this feeling of perhaps indecision, not knowing which way to go, because if you're in the void, it's like you don't know which way is even up, left or right or forward or backwards. You know, you're just sort of like tumbling in the vastness of this darkness. And then you are shifting into the Ten of Pentacles, which is just like, yes, 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 yes. Here we go, this earth energy. Big time, you know, this is a card for Virgo astrologically, but I mean like major Capricorn vibes. Yeah, like we've got this castle set up here with all these people gardening harmoniously within that, and we've got an abundance of pentacles. This is a pinnacle. This is the 10. This is some form of completion of some sort of earthly journey here, Scorpio. There's like and it's very positive. This is, when I pulled this card, I heard full home, full house. Like I literally heard you saying, I've got a full house. I've got a full house. But and that could be literally, you know, like maybe many people in the home. You can see that there's just like lots of people gardening under this archway. Very much protected, very much stable, very much enclosed in like a sacred space. Home, a sense of home being really important here, family being really important here. So this could be literal for some of you, but I also felt like energetically what it means to have a full home. Like what does home mean? And that to me, this like the eclipse axis that's happening in Cancer, in Capricorn and Cancer, all right, the solar eclipse in Capricorn, lunar eclipse in Cancer that straddles the new year in January, this gateway, this eclipse portal, this eclipse gateway really is all about home for me. What is home and how do you build it? Those are the Cancer Capricorn questions that I'm really interested in at this juncture. And that energy is coming through here for me. And so it's sort of like, I've got a full home. What does it mean to feel at home and to feel full there? You know, to feel fullness, abundance. What an interesting transition. I mean, gosh, this energy could not be more different. Okay. So what does that shift look like for you? Here it is. Four of Cups, Two of Wands, Six of Cups. Some sort of choice to be made here. We start with the Four of Cups. You can see this figure down here, their head in their hand, looking around at where they are, feeling really unsatisfied. It's very akin to this energy here, even in the color palette. Looking for the light, facing, here you are, the light behind you, facing the darkness. This is your experience. Looking at these cups and feeling quite dissatisfied and really at a loss as to how to fix the situation, how to move forward. Again, we have a choice with the Two of Swords, Two of Wands, choosing between two things. There seems to be, and it's interesting that I keep talking about portals, because to me the twos are like this doorway that you can like choose door number 1, choose door number 2. And then we have the 2 eclipses. Something's happening here, major, major, major with this eclipse for you. These eclipses, this Cancer Capricorn stuff. And it's all about home. It's all about home. Internal and external sense of space, where people and love and abundance and security is held. Okay, so here you are starting off this January, maybe feeling a bit in the void, a bit like you're trying to make the choice on how to get out of that void. It's interesting that this big old Ace of Cups is sort of looming. You know, this like cup of deep emotional fulfillment seems to be looming. But you may not feel like you have access to it down there. But there's the hand of God reaching through the clouds, parting the clouds, really wanting to deliver this big thing to you. And here you are, interestingly too, now let's add the Two of Wands into this progression. You are looking out at this choice. It's almost like you're between two worlds here. Because here you are in the Four of Cups, between the two twos, the Two of Swords, the Two of Wands. Between worlds, which is kind of interesting too, because the goat was between worlds. If it stays this mythical creature, you know, then it's like, it's half water being, half land being. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's the bluff that I saw. That's the cliff. And this is even the water right there, climbing up out of the water and up onto, deciding to climb this cliff to get to the, okay, wow, that's freaked me out a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Do you keep your tail and stay swimming in this? Or do you shed those fish scales in favor of the ability to climb and dwell on the earth and climb to the highest heights, like the goat? And you're looking out here at option number 2. You're looking at shedding the tail and climbing, becoming the full earth being, fully embodied. That seems to be the choice that we're seeing here. And everything seems to be pointing towards that, because look, we've got this, like, you're looking over here, the cup is kind of pointing, this hand is coming out this way. There's a hand right here pointing through the doorway. Let's go. The world is being held out to you here, quite literally the earth. Like, be here on earth. Become of the earth. And then bam. It's like all pointing to the Six of Cups. And I'm getting something really specific with this, which I will now share with you. So take a look here. See this little daisy looking flower right here. And these two little red stars. This daisy is the same as this daisy here, which is something I have never been pointed to in these cards before, because I don't know that they've ever come out like this. There's a very clear correlation that says if you choose to fully embody, if you choose the earth plane, if you choose to climb out of the sea, Scorpio, and up onto land and get up there to the highest height where you can breathe, that is leading you somehow to the Six of Cups, which for me is a rebirth. It is both a reunion and a rebirth. A reunion with another person, perhaps. A reunion with yourself, absolutely. There's whatever it is, it's a deeply emotional union because we're looking at the cups. And here's what I'm seeing. See the two stars right here? Star, star, daisy. Now we move into, it's like that's where the hand is pointing you. The hand knows what comes next if you make this choice. And so it's like this way, this way, this way, this way. Because these stars are going to be reborn down here. And look, we've got two chicks. Where's the other chick? Yeah. Two chicks that have just hatched. I'm seeing the stars as like seeds that are now, they've hatched, they've been reborn in the Six of Cups. And there's lots of springtime flowers, by the way. So this energy kind of feels like springtime to me. So that could be important in terms of timing. What's really fascinating about this, Scorpio, is I've been channeling through the Scorpio small story that came out pretty recently in December. You might want to check that out. It's called A Star is Born, and it talks about Kevin Johnson, who has a podcast, Elements and Alchemy, the podcast. Highly recommend. I'll link to it below. But in that podcast, Kevin channeled through this notion of darkness being like a primordial soup, like a place of gestation. And then in that reading that I did, A Star is Born, the message came through also that darkness, the dark clouds, are actually the birthplace of stars. And in that message also, what was channeled is something about your star dying, because it has lived its full life and now something else is being born. It's like you're being born now, you're leaving the stars, you're leaving the heavens, and you're being born into earth. These chicks are like absolute earth beings, you know, and the choice is here. Do we stay these stars who are kind of like red and flaming out, or do we choose to walk through this doorway, climb up be born into the earth as a beast of the earth? And I love just how it ends, you know, that it's like, if you do make this choice, there is a potential, an opportunity for rebirth in like absolute reunion with innocence. Perhaps with another, because we see two chicks here. Chicks, this like tender, innocent, beautiful resurrection, Easter. You know, that's what the imagery here is speaking to. It's a resurrection. There's this promise of reunion, resurrection, rebirth, home, reuniting under the safety of that archway. I'm just like seeing these people gardening in this beautiful courtyard. Protected, nourishing each other, building a home after being reborn. It's really beautiful. And then interestingly too, as I was pre-shuffling the liminal space deck for you, here's what came out. You know? Yeah. You want to talk about reset, reborn, baby. Reborn. I'm going to get one more for you here on this side of the reading here. Okay, quick shuffle. Okay, what else? Any other guidance here from the liminal space? Because let me tell you, Scorpio, this transition, this is a liminal space for sure. And that goat just like becoming of the earth, becoming embodied. What a liminal space. So let's see, what's the advice for Scorpio in this liminal space in January? Amazing. The spider. Yeah. This is your energy, Scorpio. Oh, and I meant to tell you too, on the bottom of the deck is your energy, death. Yep. And I was just talking about the star dying in order to be reborn now, an earth being. Ready to build something tangible. Speaking of building something tangible, here's the spider building the web being the spider's home. The weaver, the builder. Capricorn energy, if you will. You know, the spider creating the structure. What is chaos to the fly is harmony to the spider. It's like, and I'm seeing this as you switching roles, sometimes feeling like the fly caught in this web. And that's kind of how this energy feels, like the fly caught in some sort of web here in the depths of the ocean, the darkness of the bottom of the ocean, caught in this web, feeling like you're in chaos and deciding, making the choice to become the spider, to become the weaver of the web, to become the one that builds, to become the Capricorn, the goat, and climb up to the highest heights. Now, listen, Capricorn energy, Capricorns will always be sea goats. They will always have that fishtail. That is very much a part of who they are, and they will never lose that essence, that spirit of once having been a being of the water. But now it seems that there is an invitation to fully embody in earth energy, and that is the spider. That is what helps you transition from the fly caught in the web of chaos to the weaver who weaves this harmony. It's actually Emperor energy too, which we are entering 2020, this year of the Emperor, because 2 + 2 is 4. The 4th card in the tarot is the Emperor. The Emperor creates, builds the system, builds the space, builds the foundation, the structure that is right to hold whatever it is that they're trying to create. And that's that spider. Wow. Quite a shapeshift. Quite a shapeshift, Scorpio. All right, my friend. So I'm going to take this into an extra special extended reading since we are shifting decades here. And I am going to use other decks to clarify the spread that we have here and get a bit more specific as to what this energy is really honing in on and how that might be applying to a smaller group of you. And also at the end of that, I'm going to pull cards, 4 cards to look at the overall energy of 2020 for you. So we're going to look at the first quarter, the second quarter, the third, and the fourth. And that's going to give us a general overview of what the energy of 2020 may be bringing your way and what the guidance is for as we move along the wheel of the year. So this will be a smaller taste of a much larger offering that I offer over on my website called the Wheel of the Year reading, which will take 1 card as an energetic guide for each month of the year. It's a really beautiful offering, one of my favorite things that I offer. So if you're interested in that, do go check that out. All the links are in the description below. Okay. Okay, so Scorpio, stick around. I'm going to put a little preview of the extended reading up there to make sure that it's resonating with you. If it is, you click the link below, and that's going to take you to Patreon. Patreon is a community that I've created for folks who are regularly resonating with my work and would like to receive the monthly shift extended readings every month. So if you would like to receive this reading in the extended form, head over to Patreon. You can join me there, and that's where we will work that out and make it happen. Okay? Scorpio, thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year. Take care. Nobody's really moving. They're just staring at their cups like, I have all these feelings, but I don't know what to do. And I think I need to walk away, but I'm not sure. I feel like I can't go, I can't stay. Okay, I'm seeing this as these two people. And look at this, that chariot, that horse, that chariot is in the background being like, come on, come on. Once you move out of stagnancy, let's go, climb up that mountain. Let's get out of this. You know, let's get out of this like blue in the face kind of energy where nobody's moving and nobody's saying anything and everything's super emotional. We're moving out of that energy. This is clarifying the Six of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Embodiment. Sun in Virgo. Earth energy. Focusing on the earth. On like tangible, material, mundane. It's like this is what happens when you choose to leave the water, Scorpio. You become this. You become the earth. And then it's like bam.